victory will be racing for the first time here today at Sebring International Raceway. And we'll be going green in less than a minute's time. And in fact, no, we are green as they come down into turn number 1 for the first time. It's been a good start there for the second position. This is about for the race lead. Gregor Hutu is going to sweep around and he's going to claim first position as they come down into turn number 1. Niemann holding that inside line, hoping that Hutu's going to go wide there. Niemann will have to slot into the second position. David Williams is in the third spot as they come down. Ricardo Tama there making a move on Martin Cronke. So Cronke is now down into the 5th position. Aloma in 6th and Pablo Lopez is set on the 7th position at the moment. But a great start, guys, by Gregor Hutu.
Yeah, and a bit of mayhem at back, not too much contact, looked fairly clean there. And at the race start, Martin had to drop back and let his teammates pass, and now he's down to 5th position, having David Williams in 3rd and Rico Latolo in 4th. And now Jesse Nieminen has already created the gap, and he's right behind Gregor Hutu there, and you see how much faster the car actually is on the straight. So it could actually be a good choice taking the low downforce package here. It will show as soon as we go on the backstretch. Until then, he only has to make this work. He has to stay as close as he can to make the slipstream work, and he has to stay in the slipstream. You said it, how important this is after the last build-up updates. You have to use the slipstream to make this pass, and so far it looks like only 2 or 3 drivers have been involved in start incidents. One of them is Troy Schultz. He's already in the pits.
Yeah, and Ika Parla and Trey is out of the race as well. He started this race, of course, in the 7th position. He is down on pit road. He will probably not be able to get any repairs to his race car. Having a look at this battle for the race lead, it is Hutu up front. He is reaching about 160 miles an hour coming down into the final corner. However, Niemann a full 13 miles an hour faster. He has got the speed, but wasn't quite close enough to make it happen. Now he's got to really get a good drive out on the final corner. Wasn't able to really do so there. In fact, Hutu was a little bit close to the wall as they came down to complete lap number 1 of this race.
Meanwhile, Alexio Loma goes too wide with Martin Krönke for 5th position, and behind them right away Pablo Lopez. Alexi, however, had a great start there, coming from 11th position, and he's now into 5th position. Pablo Lopez looking to the outside, not a chance to pass right there, so Martin now sandwiched by his teammate Alexi Loma and Pablo Lopez from the radicals. However, at the moment, Henry Backman is on the hot seat for race 2.
Yeah, and you need to have that top 20 finish to get yourself into any form of contention for the second race. And that battle for the 20th position, as I've talked about, keeps on changing itself as a car ahead of Paul Ilbrandt. That's Pablo Lopez going very wide out of turn of 1. He'll lose position there to Paul Ilbrandt. So Lopez is going to go down into the 8th position. And it just looks as though he went a little bit wide there in turn of 1. In fact, I would have to say, it almost looks on my screen like he might have just glanced the wall there in turn number 1. In fact, he did glance the wall.
Yeah, he did, and it's apparently an issue. I've been talking to my teammates, and all of them are having a bit of an issue. And I remember one quote from David Williams and Jesse Nieminen, where David says hitting the first turn wall is soul destroying, and Jesse replies, yeah, it always makes you feel good at sim racing when that happens. So that just sums it up perfectly. The first wall in the first turn is unforgiving, and of course you don't really need to hit that, but you have nowhere to find your apex pretty much from turning in, so you just have to rely on it.
And while that is all happening, Gregor Hutu working his way down the back straight away. He's coming down into turn number 17. Gregor Hutu, in fact, he's got a car going very sideways ahead of him there as he comes out of the final corner. Crisis averted. Gregor Hutu is going to win round number 7 of the ProtoICE $1,000 Cup. Crisis averted indeed. Jesse Niemann will come home in his 2nd position there, with David Williams is now coming out the final corner. He will take home the 3rd position with Braku Alatalo coming out of the final corner now with an Esquiloma in the 5th position. Those two will take home 4th and 5th positions respectively on the racetrack. Paul Ilbrandt looking as though he's going to take home the 6th position with Pablo GoPro Lopez, finally getting himself a good finish in the first heat of the day. He will come home in the 7th position. Martin Cronke looking close, but he's not going to be close enough as they come past the stripe. He will come home in the 8th position with Timo Evenen in 9th. And Anthony Rosselli rounding out your top 10. Darren Marsh does indeed finish ahead there of Roderick Cronin, so it worked out in the end for the 68 car. Jason Lovett coming past the line, taking home 13th, and Martin Storr now coming out the final corner to take home the 14th position. Joe Jr. is going to round out your top 15, and we're going to have a look back, and it looks as though it is going to be, at this time, Pascal Nicolas starting this second race on pole position, but we still got to get confirmation of that, guys.